This is our first podcast of 2026. How do you feel?
I feel so excited.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I love it. I have felt so creatively motivated for the podcast this week. So I'm so excited to sit and chat. So today, well, I guess welcome back. I'm Lexie.
I'm Katie.
And we're your hosts for the Go Read Sis podcast. Today before we jump into all the 2026 fun stuff, we're gonna just bask in 2025 for a moment longer and do a 2025 wrapped.
Love it.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Me too.
Before we do that, I think in true Go Read Sis fashion, we should talk about what we're reading.
Oh, perfect.
What do you got?
So I actually finished 2 books yesterday. So yeah.
Love.
We're reading Alchemy of Secrets for our in-person book club, and it's tomorrow, and I had not started it. So I started and finished the audiobook of that yesterday, and then I also finished Emily Wilde's Map of the Other Lands yesterday.
Oh, okay. How did you feel about it?
I really liked it.
Okay, more than the first one, similarly.
I would say not as much as the first one.
Okay.
It did have a little bit of the second book slump feeling in the first half. The second half though picked up quite a bit though.
Okay.
So I would say first half was pretty slow, second half was great. And I think I gave it a 4.25, where the first one I think I gave a 4.75 or maybe even a 5-star actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And it's 3 books, right?
It's 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will you pick up the third one?
I'm very excited about the third one. I haven't started it yet, but because I don't have it. But as soon as I finished the second one, I was like, oh, I need to go get the third one, because at the end of the first one, it gives you a very good conclusion where you're I don't necessarily feel I need to pick up the second one right now, because it's obviously going to be a different story. But the end of the second one was there's something very significant that I know is going to happen in the third one that I'm really excited to get to, because it kind of left us off on ooh, how are we gonna, what are we gonna do?
So the cozy fantasy with some stakes now.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
okay.
There was actually this whole second half, because of the genre that the characters are gonna be fine. Going into it, it's anything else, it's the cozy vibes. It's they're gonna be fine at the end of the day, because that is the purpose of the story, is that it's going to have a happy ending. But you don't know how we're gonna be fine.
Sure.
So there are increased stakes of there's actually a real problem that's slightly scary for these characters that we need to solve. And that was the whole second half of the book.
Okay.
And then at the end of the second half of the book, that bigger problem was solved, but then it opened up this whole other element that you're oh, but now we're about to go do this, and it's going to be an adventure, and it's going to bring in all these new things that we haven't experienced before. So now I'm okay, I need to know what's going to happen.
Oh gosh. Okay, I'm really excited because I read the first one not last year, probably the year before, honestly, so a while ago, and I was wasn't super motivated to keep reading it. I didn't not like it by any means. Yeah. I just have to be in a very specific mindset to enjoy a cozy fantasy. Yeah. And I think I read it when I probably shouldn't have, so I hadn't had any motivation to read the second one. But hearing that, and it has some stakes to it, I think would make me more inclined to enjoy it more easily. Yeah, so.
Yeah. Well, and in typical Emily Wilde fashion, it is a journal entry. It's very lengthy and wordy, and stuff is drawn out because you're meant to be very immersed and very connected to the character. It's supposed to be her, diary. So she's just rambling on and on about sometimes really random stuff, and you're can we get to the plot? But it's but that's on purpose.
It's really cozy.
Yeah, it's very cozy.
And I can appreciate that for sure. And I think we've both talked about this. We're such character people, and when you're reading the journal entry, you literally know the in and out of their mind, so you get to know them so well. And I really did enjoy that about it.
Oh, there was also another little thing just having to do with the journal entry that happened that just made me so excited. I fangirled for no reason over one thing that they did with the journal stuff. I'm not gonna say what it was, because I think it was really fun to just experience not expecting it. But it was so fun, and I loved it.
Oh, I'm so excited to read it now. Maybe I'll put that a little bit higher on my TBR.
Yeah. I do feel the second and third would be best read close together. So I am planning on picking up the third one pretty soon.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm glad you finished the year with some good books.
Yeah.
Did you finish them in 26?
Finished them in 26. I finished both of those books yesterday.
Okay. So you're starting the year off with Goodreads.
Yes.
Amazing.
And then I picked up a nonfiction, which is crazy. It's called Dopamine Detox, and it's very much just about the addiction that we have in our society now to dopamine, and like why that is, and how our technology is like hacking our dopamine like receivers in our brain, and kind of how to combat that and also reset from that, and then start like healthier habits to keeping yourself more consistently like level. I find myself like overstimulated often for no reason. Like I don't understand why I'm overstimulated. And I'm finding that as I was reading like the first part of it, I was like, oh my gosh, like half of the reason I'm overstimulated is because of my dang phone. Like
that's so valid.
Yeah. So it's very interesting, and I am doing it for like a reset video for my channel. I am reading a couple nonfiction books because I just wanted to like start the year with something for my brain, you know?
Sure. I love that.
But yeah, I'm really liking it.
Let me know. That's such an interesting concept. I was talking to Ryan, my husband, about this. We are in the process of like planning out our garden. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, why? Like, and I know like modern gardening or urban gardening has become a thing, but like, our like ancestors, they grew everything, and it must have just felt so accomplishing and proud to like grow the food you're eating, whereas now you want something, you can order it, you can go 5 minutes down the road, whereas like our ancestors and everyone before us, like they just lived like these really like slow, quiet lives. They were making all their own food, they were growing their own food, they were making their clothes, and I'm like, what about that society was so much happier than ours? And I really think it's just like having everything at the tip of our fingers, needing the, what's it called? Like the instant gratification. And I think that has a big thing to do with it. And I feel like that ties into like your phone and stuff.
Yeah. Well, one of the big points that the author makes towards the beginning of the book is that likely your addiction to dopamine is hindering you from being able to do these long-term goals. Like if you find yourself constantly procrastinating things that you say you want to do. Yeah. And one of the examples was like that book you've always wanted to write. And I was like,
oh, well, Holy Spirit, just call me out. Why don't you?
No, for real. And it was like, yeah, like the reason you may be procrastinating these things is because you're addicted to the constant hit of dopamine that you get from all of these other sources.
Yeah.
And it's actually keeping you from being able to focus for long enough to pursue those goals. Like,
that's crazy.
That's insane.
It's really, like, I even remember, like, as a kid, like, our parents didn't have Amazon the way we have Amazon now. Like, the instant gratification, it was not a thing. Like, if you wanted something, you had to wait for your birthday or Christmas or Easter or whatever it is now.
When we were kids, it was like that.
Right, like, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, our parents didn't have Amazon to just give us whatever we wanted when we wanted.
No.
And now, like, if I want something, it can come in a day on Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah. Part of that is, like, just accessibility to those things. And, like, when you're in early adulthood and you don't have kids and you're, like, in that place of life where you do have some money to spend and whatever, it can be very tempting to just buy whatever you want because, like, you can.
Sure.
But when you're a kid, your parents are a lot more limited, likely. At least mine were a lot more limited financially than they are now, than I am now. So it was like, no, we're not just going to buy you whatever you want. Like, we don't have the money for that. You can wait and you can ask for it for Christmas or you can ask for it for your birthday. Yeah,
that's true.
Which I'm trying to, like, do better about doing that kind of thing for myself, too.
Me too.
And just go, okay, like, is this something that I genuinely need right now? Or is this something that I can ask for my birthday? Or I can wait until Christmas? Or I can, you know, like, just try not to just always give myself everything I want, like, just because I want it, you know what I mean?
No, we're in the same boat. We're trying to be, like, more intentional about, like, what we're purchasing for 2026, like, my husband and I both. So, okay, more me. Ryan doesn't really spend, like, that much money, to be honest. So just, like, really, like, we have always, like, prayed before big purchases, but even just, like, the little things, like, just sitting and being like, is this really going to benefit me? Do I really need this right now in this moment type of thing? And just trying to be more slow about those purchases.
Yeah, totally.
So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. No, I love that, though.
We're only a couple days into the new year, guys.
We'll check in with you later.
Yeah.
So what are you currently reading?
Oh, yeah, I honestly forgot. I wasn't even going to say it. I am currently reading Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Yep, I had been slowly reading it pretty much all of 2025. Like, just reading like a chapter here, a chapter there, and I had family in town, and I was like, there's no way I can read a book that like I need to think about or that is going to take a lot of brain power, so let me just like stick to something that I know the story, I'm already in the book.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm like, now I'm just going to finish it before I start another book.
Yeah, I love that.
Here we are. So
I love it.
Yeah, just starting the year with a reread, but honestly, it's Harry Potter, so like so iconic.
A great way to start the year.
Speaking of Harry Potter, I know it's on your TikTok, but you're Finding God in Fiction. I am like 100% sat for every single Friday or whenever you're doing it.
Thank you.
It's so good.
Thank you.
I'm obsessed.
Loving it.
Our church does like a at the movies. I think you went to it.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of like that, but like bookish. And I'm like, that is what the book talk space needs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So good.
Honestly, it was so Holy Spirit inspired. Okay. I was driving home one day and just kind of like praying through the new year and through like creating content and creative outlets and just really trying to lift God up in that moment and in like the prayer for the content, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like just asking the question of like, hey, Lord, how do you want to speak through me through these platforms, and what do you want me to be posting? How do you want me to like engage in this community? And like, how can I honor you in this? Sure. And I really just felt like I think it was one of those car rides where I was like, no podcast, no music, no, like I was just driving in silence and prayer. And and it just like, I just kind of like the idea came to my head and I was like, okay, that's how I know like this was not from me. Also, I like couldn't have come up with that. I don't know. And the name like came pretty immediately. It was like Finding God in Fiction. And I was like, whoa, wait a second. I love that.
Oh,
like,
it's so good.
And then immediately I had like 4 books off the top of my head that came to mind of like where I had experienced some kind of like connection to who God is, or like experienced him speaking through these works in that moment. I was like, oh, okay, I know the first like 4 that I'm gonna do. And I went home and I like recorded them immediately. I was like, okay, well, this is like Holy Spirit inspired. Like I gotta go. Yeah, we gotta go right now. So I recorded the first 3 and I was kind of trying to like slow release, but I was so excited about them that I just was like, okay, boom,
There's so many books you could do. You don't need to.
I know.
Now you got your set date.
Yes. And now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this every Friday because I feel like if I try to do it too often, then I'm going to force something that is not necessarily there. And it's going to become a thing where, like, I'm trying to come up with stuff on my own rather than really intentionally and prayerfully, like, choosing these reads in partnership with God and speaking what the Holy Spirit has genuinely put on my heart.
I love that.
Through, doing it weekly rather than trying to, like, generate content,
Just because.
Just because I'm trying to get, like, traction. Like, this is very much me trying to, like, be very intentional and prayerful and, like, allow the Lord to just speak through me and like use the platform to honor him and glorify him, and hopefully somebody else can get some joy and blessing out of it.
I had no intention of reading The Conditions of Will, and then you posted, was that this week or whatever, and I was like, oh, I like that take because it was about like conviction and
self-righteousness.
Okay. So I'm like, ooh, okay, maybe I'll put that on my TBR. Plus it's a Kindle Unlimited book.
It is,
So I'm like, ooh, even better.
Yeah. And part of what I think is fun about it is like, these aren't necessarily books that I would recommend as like a Christian read.
Sure.
Like it's very much like messy characters, messy situations, like imperfect in so many ways, like language and whatever, like is a part of all of these things. And that's part of what I love about it is like in like biblical times, the people that God used to speak through were horribly messy.
Right.
Like
they were human.
They were so imperfect. There were so many things wrong with the choices that they made. And God still, like, chose to use them and to speak through them and to work through them. And so that's part of what I love about, like, taking books like The Conditions of Will and, like, unpacking how, like, God has spoken through it is because it is so messy and imperfect. And, like, there's so many things that you're like, yeah, that's not from the Lord. Like, that's not a godly characteristic or choice or whatever, but God chose and is choosing to like use that still to speak, which is just incredible.
So cool.
Yeah.
I love it. I just had to like mention it.
Thanks. I'm really excited about it.
No, it's so good. You're doing so good.
Oh, thanks.
All right. Are we ready to start our Wrapped?
I'm so ready.
Okay.
Guys, Lexie has not told me anything about what we're doing in this Wrapped. Like, she was like, I'm not going to tell you. I want you to be surprised. So I'm going in blind. I have no idea what's about to happen right now.
Yep.
And I'm very excited about it.
She literally was like, we should probably plan what we're doing tomorrow. And I'm like, girl, I got it. Don't even worry.
Like, okay, well, I'll just focus on getting the studio ready to go and trust that you have the content.
I have the content. So, we're going to start off with a positive question.
Okay, love.
What was an unexpected 5-star read for 25?
Oh my gosh, Mistborn. Like, immediately.
Okay.
I knew I was gonna like it.
Sure.
And I honestly think when I rated it the first time, I don't even know if I actually gave it 5 stars. Like, I think I gave it a 4.5.
Like, you kind of sat on it type of thing?
Yes. And then at the end of the year was like, okay, yeah, this is a 5-star
like, still in my brain.
Yes.
Like, I love those reads.
And the series as a whole is a 5-star series. Like, I read all 3 of the original trilogy in 2025, and, like, the whole thing was a 5-star series. Like, absolutely loved it. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm gonna like it, but I'm a little scared. Like, it's high fantasy. I know it's gonna be a lot to, like, take in and whatever. I'm like, I'll try to read it really slow, whatever. And then I, like, flew through it, and it was so good. And I was just not expecting to love it so much.
For me, an unexpected 5-star read is The Bright Years by Sarah Damoff. And only because it was a debut novel, there was nothing on social media beforehand. Like, I don't think they had very many ARC readers, or if they did, they weren't, like, super outspoken about it. And I was so touched by it.
Yeah. It was a really good read.
Yeah.
I think it was hyped a lot before I read it, and so I went in with expectations, and that made it, like, not a 5-star for me because I was, like, expecting so much of it.
Yeah.
And I also read it right after I read The Women, so that was maybe choice.
If you read The Women, no, that blows it out of the water in regards to emotional turmoil, but, like, I didn't read The Women this year, so.
Yeah, it was really good, though.
Amazing. I loved it. Ooh, okay. I think I know your answer to this one.
Oh, boy.
But it's a book you thought you'd love but didn't.
I feel like there's actually going to be a lot of these.
Ooh, okay. Maybe it's because the one I'm thinking of it just happened.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, we can talk about that one if you want to.
I mean, if you have a better answer.
No, I don't think I do, because that was, like, really devastating, actually. Yeah, it's catabasis, or catabasis, I think is how you're actually supposed to say it. Yeah, I definitely thought I was going to love it. I was like, Babel, I think, was 5 stars for me, and, like, I was like, okay, this book is going to be great. The premise seems so fun. Like, it seems so, like, Percy Jackson, and, like...
Nope.
It was my worst read of the year.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
And you're, like, pretty fond of the author.
Yeah.
Is it just Babel you read before this, or did you read? Okay.
Babel's the only work by the author that I've read before, so I'm like, going to approach with caution the other things that I read.
I've heard like, the Poppy War was... And from my understanding, Catabasis was not overly...
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like it.
I don't think I'll be reading it.
I wouldn't.
Okay. Love. For me, I think it's going to be... Oh my gosh, I can't think of... When the Moon Hatched. Did not like it. I thought I was going to love it, y'all. Like, dragons, fantasy, romantasy, enemies to lovers. No.
A lot of hype, too.
A lot of hype. A lot of people really like it. So I don't know what I missed, but, like, it felt very insta-lovey to me. I'm like, these are supposed to be enemies, and they're, like, cuddling on the couch on chapter 3. I'm like, what is happening right now? The dragon system made no sense, and, like, I'd like to think of myself as a seasoned fantasy consumer, so if I can't, like, figure it out easily, I'm like...
There's something wrong.
Right, like...
Yeah.
What? So I was just not the biggest fan, and I was so disappointed because I had been looking forward to that book since I finished Fourth Wing, because I'm like, I need another dragon fantasy, you know?
Yeah.
And it didn't hit.
Oh, that sucks.
I was so sad, but it's fine. I'm not going to be reading the next 1 or 2 or whatever.
That's valid. That's really surprising.
Yeah. I don't think you'd like it.
Okay. Perfect.
I mean, you could try, but...
No, I'm good.
Yeah, not a fan. Okay, I like this one. What was your longest reading slump? Like, around when? And what book got you out of it?
I think it was right before our readathon was probably my longest.
Like our Christmas readathon? We did 2 this year.
Yeah, our November readathon. I think it was like right before then. Or maybe it was like late summer. I don't know. But there was like a couple months where I only read like 3 books. And it was very sad. And I feel like the book that got me out of it, honestly, may have been Mistborn.
I knew it.
Yeah. I'm like almost 100% sure that the book that got me out of that slump was Mistborn.
Love. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Mine was right around February.
Okay.
I read 3 books. And I will say, to be fair, we were just moving into our rental house at the time. So there's like a lot going on. But I read 3 books. Didn't really love any of them. Like, I didn't have a 5-star read that month. My favorite book of the month, like in February, was Quicksilver. And I didn't even love it. So I'm like, oh, this is lame. But then Suzanne Collins blessed us with Sunrise on the Reaping, and it cured everything.
It was so good.
It ruined everything. I think it put it right back into a reading slump, but like the good kind of reading slump. You know, there's like a difference.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah.
I love that for you.
I don't know if I have an answer for this one off the top of my head, but an author you discovered in 25 that is now an auto-by-author or would be if they don't have anything else out.
That I discovered in 2025. Dang.
Yeah, that one's tough.
I want to say Brandon Sanderson, but I'm not going to.
I'm trying to think. Oh, you know what? I'm going to go with Carly Fortune, who did the Every Summer After. I read every single one of her books this year. Oh, and wow. They're not, like, outstanding or, like, life-changing, but they're very cute. They're very summery, and they're just fun. Like, we don't really live by any good bodies of water, so it just, like, feels nice to, like, read a cozy summer rom-com near a body of water. And, I mean, I wouldn't say they're clean. They definitely each have, like, a spice scene or two, but, like, they're clean enough where, like, it's easy enough to skip it.
Yeah, that's so fair.
So I'm going to go with Carly Fortune.
So this is going to be my answer. I don't think that I discovered any one particular author that would be an auto-by-author for me.
Okay.
The reason being, I think I read a lot of variety this year.
You did.
I read a lot of different genres, a lot of different authors, and kind of just like dabbled in so many things that I don't feel like there's any one author that I read this year that I'm like, yes, I will buy everything that they write.
Okay.
There's like, I would say the only author that might come close is Brandon Sanderson.
Yeah.
But even then, I still don't know that I would buy everything that he writes.
He has a lot of books.
Right. He has a ton. And I don't know how I'm going to feel about the other series that he's written, because Mistborn was like young adult, was fast paced. Like,
that's true.
Compared to his other series, from what I understand, it was very like entry level Brandon Sanderson. So, which is crazy. I know, but I'm like,
not me having to like read 30% in like 4 times.
I know. The first 30% were rough.
Very rough.
But I think that's my answer, is like, I actually did not have one particular author. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that kind of goes into my next question, which is, what new genre did you discover this year that you love?
Do you want to go first on this one? Give me a second.
Yeah, absolutely. I do. So mine's definitely sci-fi.
Okay.
It was something I dabbled in high school a little bit, and then kind of when I like stopped reading for a while, like college era, and never picked sci-fi back up, and then I can't think of the book. The Blighted Stars
trilogy.
Yeah. And I was like, okay, I'll read it. And like, I absolutely cannot stop thinking about sci-fi books. Like, it's all I want to read.
I love.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like for me, it was literary fiction.
Okay.
I think I've read very little literary fiction over the past all my reading years.
Okay.
When I was young and like really into reading, I always gravitated towards coming of age novels. Like that was like a huge thing. I loved coming of age.
Yeah.
Because that was like that point in my life. Sure. And so I feel like literary fiction kind of like gives that same vibe for me as an adult now.
I can see it. Yeah. No, I like that. We've been on a Chris and Hannah journey. 100%. So it makes sense. It makes sense.
First Chris and Hannah, Frederick Bachman, the Bright Years, like all of those.
Oh yeah,
were out of my comfort zone.
The Wedding People?
I haven't, but I do want to.
Okay, it's not like as like, it's not generations or like a super long time, but it's literary fiction, so like same vibe. So yeah. All right, this one's kind of a little bit of a fun one. And then we have like some personal, not necessarily bookish ones.
Okay.
Yeah. What is the most Kati-coded book you read?
Okay. Honestly, Trust of the Emerald Sea.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. It was fantasy. It was an adventure. It was like not it was a female main character that was very independent, but also very, like, I don't know, like, empathetic in a way as well. And very, like, thick-skinned. And also, what's the word? Like, people didn't, like, expect out of her necessarily all of, like, the strength that she had.
Like an underdog type of vibe?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like that. And she made a decision, like, I'm not gonna sit around and wait for this thing to, like, solve itself. I'm gonna go solve the problem. Oh, I just felt like I connected with her.
Okay. Well, yeah. I love that.
Also, it was inspired by The Princess Bride, which I grew up on, so...
I didn't know that. Well, I knew you grew up on it. I didn't know it was inspired by it.
It was inspired by The Princess Bride.
Okay.
Yeah. It was the like, whole thing he says in the, whatever, not acknowledgements, but, like, at the very end.
Oh, okay, like the author note type.
Yeah.
Okay.
He says that this was, like, if the conversation that sparked this book was what would happen if instead of waiting around for Wesley to come back, Buttercup had just gone after him.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I plan on reading that. I actually put Trust of the Emerald Sea and the Third Mistborn book on my January TBR. So
that makes me so happy.
I don't know if I'll get to both of them, but we'll see. I should have a lot more reading time now that my family's
I audiobooked Tress.
Okay.
And I could have physically read it just as easily. 2 days.
Okay.
Read in 2 days.
Oh, like, it's Mistborn. Is the third one as long as the second? I don't think so.
The third one is long. That one will take you longer. But Tress is, like, very little world building, very little, like, things to, like, try to keep track of. It's more just, like, a fun story.
Love.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. For me, my answer is not as thought, and which is very impressive because you just found, like...
I'm really good at, like, pulling stuff out of my butt.
I love it. The book that I picked for, like, most Lexie coded was actually Anxious People.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, I just think there's something so human about the way he writes that book, and the characters all having, like, these flaws of just wanting to have a community, whether that's what they realize they want or not. And I feel like where I'm at with my season in life, just in moving, like, not like super, super far, but like an hour from like everyone I know, that's very much the season of life I felt like I was in all of 2025 and even going into 2026. So I just felt very connected in that sense of just wanting community.
Aww, I love that.
I know, yeah. So
I love it.
I love that book. I would reread it
for you.
Thanks.
Yeah, I see it.
I'm not an anxious person, but like anxious people, love.
I get it.
Yeah. So. All right, now we're going to go to, like, some personal, and then if there's anything you think of, crazy. Go crazy.
Great.
What is something you learned about yourself in 2025?
I think something I learned about myself is how much I need structure and, like, routine and... goals, I guess.
Okay.
In order to function in a productive manner. Like, the dopamine, like, thing, that book is, like, pretty much nailing on the head, like, the things that I learned over 2025, which is basically that, like, if I'm not very intentional about making sure that I have a plan and I have a routine and I have a structure, all of that, like, if I'm not intentional about that, I will just scroll on my phone and waste so much time. And I think, like, I learned that mostly because I quit, like, my full-time job and started working freelance, and freelance is so independent and requires so much, like, personal time management and, like, focus and attention management and, like, all of these things that I didn't really need in my regular job because I knew the job so well that I was just doing it on autopilot. Okay. And so by, like, starting something completely different that required so much, like, out of me, I feel like I've really stretched myself and in, like, a good way.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. How about you?
That's cool. Oh, gosh. I think for me, something I learned was that I very much, what's the word? Like, repel feeling controlled. Which has been, as you can imagine, as a married person, very difficult to come to the realization of. Yeah. Of just, not that Ryan is a controlling person at all.
Right.
He's quite opposite, honestly, probably enables the me being in control. But it's just been very eye-opening and tough to be like, oh, yeah, I need to learn to surrender a little bit better.
That's good.
Yeah. Which I feel like, was that was you at some point.
That was
I feel like we
me.
had a conversation about this.
Probably either 2023 or 2024. Maybe even before then. I don't know. Okay. But at some point that I also had that experience of like, oh, I'm really independent in a bad way.
Right. Yeah. And it didn't really stand out to me too much until we owned the house. Because then it's like, oh, okay, like, all of this has to be done. And, you know, when we lived with my in-laws, it's like, we don't really have that much responsibility. And when we rented, like,
call maintenance.
Not really my problem. Yeah. But, like, now, like, even, like, little things. Like, I found myself going to Home Depot and, like, buying a light. And I'm like, no, like, I'm not the one who needs to be picking out the lights. But I'm like, oh, but Ryan, what if Ryan doesn't, like, pick out one I like? And I'm like, no, that doesn't matter. Like, he could go out and pick the light. Like, just, like, little things like that. But I'm just like, okay, I have control issues. Like, I feel like I need to be in control, and then I don't like feeling controlled.
Yeah. I think the thing that helped or, like, that changed or shifted things for us was, like, recognizing the areas that, like, I manage well, and then recognizing the areas that Justin manages well, and being okay, like, operating in our own spaces, but, like, together.
Sure.
So it's like, we don't make, like, massive decisions without one another, but I operate in this space really well, and he operates in this space really well. So I'm going to let him handle that, and I'm going to handle, like, this part. And so it's like, I still have a sense of control over this, but then there's also the sense of surrender of, like, not everything is on me. Like, he handles making sure all the bills get paid. Like, he is the one that, like, goes and makes sure that, like, that gets done. But I handle the budget. So it's like, there's a bit of, like, you know,
which
like,
is, I think, healthy.
I think so too. Yeah. Where it's like we're weaving in and out of each other's, like, spaces, and we're kind of doing it together, but we've also recognized, like, where our strengths and weaknesses are, and we can kind of, like, separate out things that way. Yeah.
Okay.
Which still requires both, like, the independence and also the surrender.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Nope. I think it's just been really easy for me to slip into this, like, head of the household.
Yeah, because, like, I want to do everything.
Right.
Yeah.
And, like, none of it is, like, even all Ryan's fault. He works overnight, so he's gone at night, and then he sleeps during the day. So, like, that's just, like, when things are open to call and places to go. So, like, it's just adjusting to how this is gonna work. Especially, like, just in the new year, like, everything is like, oh, like, let's just start fresh type thing. So, it's a really good time to recognize it, and we'll see. But yeah.
No, I love that. I think you guys will find your rhythm.
We will. I mean, I know, like, October seems like it was a while ago, but, like, in regards to owning the house, like, we haven't even had the house 6 months.
Yeah.
And we got it right around the holidays, so, like,
it's been crazy.
It's been insane. Like, I was just saying the other day, like, I feel like we have not just been able to, like, catch our breath since we moved. Like, we went on a trip, and then, like, Halloween, and then this, that, and the other thing, and family. Yeah, it's just been insane, and I'm so ready to just, like, have no holidays, have no one at the house. Like, I loved having family, but, like, let's just figure out how we, like, do the house the way we wanted, and all that. So yeah. All right, what is a moment you're really proud of?
I'm really proud of myself for quitting my job.
That was really big for you. You had been talking about it for, like,
2 years.
Yeah.
2 years.
Since I've known you.
No. Not since. Not quite.
Since we moved to Texas.
Yeah. No, really. It's something I had been, really, it had been something I knew was coming since the beginning of 2024.
Okay.
And at the beginning of 2024, I was like, one more season. And if you guys didn't know, like, I used to be a coach. And so it was like, one more season. I'll just go through one more season. And then I did it again. And I was like, one more season. I was just one more comp season, and then we're done. And actually ended up quitting at the end of the summer, which was, like, the break between seasons. And it just was very much, it was God's timing. He had been preparing me over the couple of years, like, for that moment. It was really scary, but also really, really necessary, and something that, like, it was just obedience. Like, that's all I can.
Yeah.
And I miss it. Like, there's definitely elements about it that I really, really miss, but ultimately, like, I knew that I was walking in obedience by doing that. And I definitely feel like very proud of myself for like choosing obedience rather than like hanging on to what was familiar and what I had control of.
Yeah. No, I love that. And I like outside looking in, there's been such a positive change in like your personality, how happy you seem, even like just outside looking in on like you and Justin's relationship. Like you guys just seem so much happier because you look so much happier.
I am.
And less overwhelmed. Like you were, every time we hung out, you're like, I'm so tired. I hate my job. Like
yeah, guys, I sleep now.
Oh, it's praise amazing. The Lord.
It's amazing.
Isn't it like crazy how much sleep you need?
Yeah, I feel it. Like it felt like a weight was off, and then I had God was just so generous with me after that. Like we were provided for, but also he gave me like a really incredible season of rest with it too.
To Hawaii.
On to Hawaii. I actually quit like as soon as we got back from Hawaii.
Oh, okay, you went to Hawaii first. Okay,
we went to Hawaii, and then like the Monday I got back, I was like, "Here's my notice.
Bye."
I didn't just like walk out though. I did give 2 weeks, so
that's really good of you.
Thank you. I needed to. Mm-hmm. But anyways, I think that's fair. That's a big one for me.
Oh, absolutely.
What about you?
Buying the house. That's been a dream. Like I have been saying since I was young, like I want to buy a house in my 20s. I want to buy a house in my 20s. So
I love it.
Yeah, we love it. I mean, some days I hate being a homeowner, but
5 years to spare.
I know. It's crazy, but it's a lot. But it's been exactly what we wanted. Just having a home that's ours. So
love that.
And we hosted our first little get together, which was so fun.
It was so fun.
I was like, oh, I love hosting.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
So. Yeah.
All right. Well, that is all we have for you guys for today's episode. Thank you so much for hanging out with us for this first little part of your 2026. Hopefully you will come back and join us. We do post every Thursday. We try for 10 a.m. on YouTube and Spotify. Most of the time, I do not get to the Spotify on time. I honestly keep forgetting to put it on Spotify, so I'm going to try to do better about that in 2026. But you can definitely find us on YouTube every Thursday, as long as we don't skip a week or something stupid, but
yeah, we'll tell you if we are.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, follow us on our socials if you want to, and just come and hang out with us over here on the Go Read Sis podcast. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.